right, and welcome to Fast Break Breakfast NBA Podcast. My name is Keith, here once again with my buddies in the flesh, Chuck.
Hey now,
Jon. Jon's Denver Nuggets wardrobe
consists of.
Well, right now he's wearing a Nuggets hat, but he's been wearing a bunch of Jokic stuff, a bunch of rainbow gear.
I've alternated between Sixers and Nuggets gear for the entirety of the playoffs.
I have been on the Nuggets bandwagon for a good bit. It is contagious because Chuck has a lady friend in Denver.
She's my significant other.
That's right.
And Chuck...
It's no longer a side piece.
Chuck travels to Denver.
It's a cod piece.
Chuck is wearing a Nuggets shirt and hat.
Yeah.
This is a full Nuggets podcast now.
And he has nuggets in his pocket and nugget juice coursing through his veins.
Mm-hmm. I kind of stay nugged out 24/7.
You're all about the nugs.
He gave me right here, and about halfway through, I realized we were deriving under the influence, baby.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm always affected, pretty much.
Right.
I try to break a 12-hour weed fast. So, I'll go to bed, whatever the last time I stopped smoking. When I wake up in the morning, I won't smoke until 12 hours since the last time I smoked. It's a weird...
That's how you know you're not addicted. Non-addictive, right? Non-addictive.
You always have
behaviorally
arbitrary...
addictive.
I'm behaviorally
I
addicted.
used to,
ritually.
not drink at home. Just don't go home.
Because my thing with pot is I like to get high, and if you smoke all day long, you never get high. You're just kind of buzzed.
Yeah.
So you got to create, a little distance.
Yeah, you got to have some sorrow to feel the joy.
That's what the booze
right.
is for, Chuck.
It's like a long-distance relationship.
Yeah, uppers and downers.
Yeah, you do
idiot.
it. You got to ride that roller coaster.
Take some Klonopin, you moron.
Yeah, benzos at night.
Well, so I was watching this Nuggets game. Not to steer away from the
First of all, I don't believe you. I know your secret.
What is this?
You've been watching no basketball.
I've been watching no Eastern Conference.
No, I've been watching Eastern Conference.
I have not.
You and Chuck have bizarro worlded us. You missed all the prime beef.
No, I've been watching the Nuggets, and that Game 5 Nuggets, even though they were up, I felt so nervous, so anxious, so excited. It felt like I was watching the Grizzlies. This is how it ends.
Yeah,
this is how the fandom ends and moves other places.
That's real.
I was very into this game. But anyway, before we get to all that basketball talk, do we have breakfast?
Yeah. I went to the corner store, Fleming's Market, by my house, which it can best be described as a drug front.
As an Enos Cantor numbers game. Turkish.
Is it like the drug front by my
Turkish
house? Are you aware of the restaurant Pizza?
Oh yeah, that looks sketchy.
That's open till 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Little fun fact about things in Nashville: they're not open to 4 a.m. Nothing is open till 4 a.m. here. But a little strip mall pizza joint whose sign just says pizza, somehow open to 4 a.m. They have a lot. They have a very large...
That ain't all they're delivering.
Yeah, you get the veggie special.
They have a very large video security monitor display behind the counter. They also have a lot of those portable, like Breaking Bad, put your money inside of. A lot of the little portable just... shipping container things all set out back.
Is there like a tube system, like a bank?
There probably is a bunch of connected tunnels.
So they either don't give a cop discount or give a great cop discount on drugs.
Anyway, I cut you off. You were at another drug front.
Yeah,
this corner store is busted.
This place is gross.
The beer was warm.
It's disgusting. They don't even have Diet Coke.
What?
They just have it's all poison. All the drinks are poison. All they have is wrap snacks and really old shrimp ramen noodle packets.
Oh, yeah.
But they have a little grill, and they sell what I think is a Broasters of kind of knockoff. They taste Broster-esque. But it's hot, and it's there, and I went to eat it. The owners are Yemeni. What continent is Yemen in?
Asia.
Okay.
Would have missed that one.
Yeah, I did. In front of a person from Yemen. He says, I said it was in Africa. I thought it was in like the tip of Africa.
It was very close.
Very
right?
close.
It was very close.
It is
across that bay of something.
He spoke to me with a disdain, like I told him he was from Kazakhstan or something. Like I had picked the wrong world he had been from.
Have you seen what you say if you say John is from West Nashville?
Oh yeah, he goes, no, not Africa, Middle East, and I go, okay, and then I looked it up. It's like 100 miles. You could throw a rock from Yemen to Africa.
Yeah.
Did you go? So where's New Hampshire?
No, you could skip.
Pal?
You could skip a Somali pirate vessel from one to the other.
No, he's cool though. His name's Ali, and he gives me a hookup. He gives me extra napkins.
Is his name actual Ali, or is that what just he has all white people call him?
He told me to call him Ali. Every time I walk in, I say Assalamu alaikum, and he hits me with alaikum assalam. And it's a great thing.
I struggle with that phrase. I don't know how to do the second part at all.
You're kidding.
Oh, I never have to because no one ever would give me that greeting. I give the greeting.
If you put a certain hat on.
Oh, yeah.
Like the little square one.
Oh,
You've got the beard.
Yeah, if I was in Mecca.
Yeah. Okay. You might get it. So, give me a quick, help me.
Do you want me to?
Assalam?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
And then it's malaikum assalam.
I'm proud of you
so
guys.
Is that,
I believe. I'm almost 100% sure.
Is that just, did you just say it to him backwards?
I just like.
Are you saying it backwards?
I feel that's probably part of it.
I think I assume just the gesture is appreciated.
Is it a palindrome?
Right.
I get nervous saying gracias.
Do you?
Yeah.
I try to get the gracias.
I just say thanks, assuming I don't know.
I stole this move from a really cool Puerto Rican dude in New York, who I used to see at the same corner store all the time, and he told the Muslim caretaker of the bodega every day. He walked in and told him "Assalamu alaikum."
You can say "Caliph,"
and I thought it was the coolest thing and a gentle, peaceful recognition of them and showing that hey, we're in the same thing together. It was a beautiful thing, so I stole it.
If you're not a Muslim, Chuck just screams your name as loudly as he can whenever he enters.
I like that too. That's how white people say hello.
That is how Chuck says hello.
Yeah! Oh, Keith! What's up?
Yeah, that's my religion.
It's cool. That's the way I do it.
My breakfast, it's been the same like for days now. And actually, it's because of, I really should have looked up who shared this in our Patreon Slack.
Mm-hmm.
An article came out 2 days ago that says if you skip breakfast, it causes death.
Yeah.
For sure.
They tracked like thousands and thousands of people.
This podcast saved my life,
and
boys.
of the people who skipped breakfast, they died.
Straight facts.
Like 87% higher frequency of death and cardiac problems.
Yeah. It leads to other things too. My divorce, I skipped breakfast for 2 days. I could blame it all on that.
Checks out.
My only issue is I didn't see anything in the article defining exactly what breakfast was. Like, is a cup of coffee?
Does it have to do with...
Yeah, because I was about to say for my breakfast, which most people would consider lunch.
Okay. Like, I don't think that counts. Does that count?
And I'm wondering if this study, would they have considered my 11-ish Martin's breakfast, or is that truly
I don't
lunch?
think so. If
Probably
you didn't... how long had you been awake?
A long time. 4 hours. Probably.
Now, in this
I was up at 7. God help me.
Fintropy, thank you for sharing this.
Oh,
because,
he's cool.
Explain your name.
Because
what does that mean?
Because Andrew Sharp was on the podcast earlier this week from Sports Illustrated saying he doesn't eat breakfast. And then he went on his podcast and they borrowed some of our topics. It's cool. They
heard
referenced
about
us.
that. Yo, who I got to talk to? Who's out here ripping us off?
I think his name was Andrew Sharp.
Because I could go, Andrew Sharp, I might have a talk with you on Twitter and say what's up. We need to
But anyway, both Andrew Sharp
tribute.
and Ben Golliver from the Open Floor podcast said they don't eat breakfast. And then this article came down that Fintropy shared with us that says what is clear is a pattern of skipping breakfast identifies a population at risk. So I'm just saying you should eat breakfast. But because of this, I'm now like, I feel like this means more than just a cup of coffee. So now I find myself eating along with my children. I'm going to have some fruit and some Cheerios as well.
Right. Well, I've lived in Spain, and the way they do it there is you wake up, you get a croissant, a piece of cheese, and a cup of coffee. You walk out the door.
There you go.
And then 2 hours later, you go eat. You leave your job at 10:30 in the morning. You go to a coffee shop. You have coffee. You eat again, like small snacks, and then you go back, work till 2, and then have a 3-hour lunch where you drink 2 bottles of red wine.
Those who skip breakfast,
the paella.
And the paella late, but that the life expectancy of those people is incredible because they live pleasurable, decent lives. In America, I want to know about the control study. Who are these people?
Well, they're also saying that it was, obviously behavioral risks. There were other behavioral risks for people who don't eat breakfast because they might be smoking.
Right. Maybe NBA players aren't dropping dead early because they're giant galactic freaks. Maybe they're skipping breakfast.
Yeah, maybe because they get to McDonald's at 10:45.
So those who skip breakfast were 87% more likely to have died of cardiovascular disease than those who had a morning meal.
So McDonald's putting breakfast on the menu 24 hours really might save the world.
It might save lives.
Ray,
just look into it.
Ray Kroc,
those who say,
genius.
Another study recently estimated that heart attack patients who skip breakfast expose themselves to a 4 or 5 times greater chance of death.
You know who I think's behind this?
My girlfriend.
Big Egg.
Big General Mills?
Yeah. They want you eating 3 times a day. We don't need to eat 3 square meals a day. I don't believe through our evolution in time for thousands and thousands of years, we ate 3 hearty, hefty meals a day. I think that's a weird thing we think is natural now because of our routines and schedules. But when we were nomads and hunter-gatherers, you ate something maybe every other day.
You also got murdered by pterodactyls and the like. So.
That might be true. In the historical document Deadwood,
yes,
they do eat breakfast all the time.
Right.
They are always eating breakfast. They're meeting together to eat breakfast. No other meal is shown in that manner. Every now and then there's a dinner meal that's a special thing, but they always eat breakfast. I think maybe they knew.
I say to you, from experience, without air conditioning, you can't stay in bed very long.
There you go.
I was up at 7 a.m. bright and early because it was hot, and I have a beautiful ceiling fan.
So, John, your AC went out. I'm sorry to hear.
Oh.
Dude, my girlfriend's AC was out in Denver. That's weird because you're my Nashville girlfriend.
That's true.
John, did you have breakfast?
I had
you
Martin's
had the Martin's,
barbecue.
11 a.m., yeah.
What'd you get?
That kind of counts.
I started with an aperitif of a dozen chicken wings.
That's my dog.
Oh,
devoured.
What kind?
The Alabama
I get
White.
the dry rub, and then I get a side of Alabama White and a side of the Devil's Nectar.
That's what I don't do the Alabama White, but I get the dry rub with the side of the Devil's Nectar.
That Devil's Nectar is legitimately hot.
It's very hot.
Yeah,
it's hot enough to where I dip my butt in milk after I eat it, and it goes. Tss.
Yeah, I tend to stay away from any sauce that invokes the flames of hell. And anyway,
not me. I'm drawn towards it.
No, I'm good.
I ain't got that cat lip
I'm
guilt.
drawn as well. Anyway, those were our breakfasts. After our breakfast, we moved to our breakfast in bed apologies. This is our chance to make right what we might have gotten wrong on any previous episode. It is often frequently the first time we talk about the NBA, which this podcast is ostensibly about.
Shout out to the people who stopped listening now.
Right. Oh, yeah. Michael Eads.
Yeah.
Some of our Patreon supporters who only listen to the first 10, 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's cool. We respect you. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day.
One of these days, we're going to do a non-NBA podcast just purely.
Sorry, Michael. We're going to talk about Steven Adams now. Because I'm going to apologize to our listeners for forgetting, because I thought Steven Adams would be a big X factor. I forgot that Steven Adams, over the course of a season, becomes completely horrible. And by the time he gets to playoffs, can't play basketball anymore.
I don't.
It's like 3 years in a row, and I totally forgot.
I don't know who said it, but what are they going to do? Like when people are talking about Enes Kanter playing, they're saying well, what's going to happen? Is Steven Adams going to beat you? No.
The answer was no.
The answer's no.
Steven Adams in November.
Yeah, I've just forgot his decline as the season goes on is very real. I don't know if he breaks down or what it is.
Maybe the longer he's away from New Zealand, the less power he has.
Oh yeah.
Did he cut his hair? What's going on?
Does he have to get back into the water
in the ocean?
He has to go back to the cave where he was born and then kill a mountain goat.
Do you guys know how old he is? I mean, just offhand.
He is immortal 30. And has been alive since the beginning of time.
He's 25.
35.
No way.
He's the oldest 25-year-old on the planet.
Holy crap.
Because he moves and he moves in this playoffs like he's 31, 32, beat up.
He is a grumpy sourpuss.
You know who else is super...
Losing will do that too.
I kind of wanted to do this.
Fashion.
You guys also, some guy I've been seeing in the playoffs who is surprisingly young. You know how old Greg Monroe is? Have we done this on the show before?
28.
Greg Monroe he's 24.
No, you're crazy, Chuck. He's 28.
Okay.
You feel like he's 31.
For the record, I also know Steven Adams is very young.
I thought he came to the NBA at 15. Sorry.
Because I think it's...
Did you confuse him with Greg Oden's penis?
That's what it was.
It happens to the best.
Yeah, I think it's Greg Monroe and Seth Curry are the same age.
Whoa.
They're both 28, which kind of blows your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that does kind of blow my mind.
So what you're saying is Greg Monroe is now rounding into his prime.
Yeah, this is these
next 2-3 years.
Has he played for every playoff team?
Every Eastern Conference playoff team he has.
I thought so.
Yeah, the remaining 4.
Yeah.
He's been on all of them.
I don't remember. him in
my
Orlando.
apologies. Similar to you forgetting about Steven Adams, maybe not being the postseason god, underseas water god we think he might be. I apologize to the Blazers and the Blazer boys in Blazer Nation.
Thank you. I'll deliver that message.
3.5% of our listenership in Portland,
Yeah.
Oregon. I'm sorry for picking the Thunder, for going with the crowd.
Most people did.
Following the herd, thinking that the star power of the Thunder. I also blame the John Schumans of the world, the Tom Haberstros, who kept hammering home the point. The first 20 games of a team's season is more important than the last half of the season, because I said this Thunder team has looked like garbage for 2 months, but maybe it just doesn't matter. We know who these guys are. We know who Paul George is. We know who Russell Westbrook is. Maybe it doesn't matter. I apologize for getting it wrong. These Blazers came out, but thumped
here's the thing.
the Thunder.
Here's the thing. Love the Blazers. They got swept by the Pelicans last year.
Yeah,
And
threw us off the scent.
And the Thunder's defense, we thought, could be a problem for Lillard and McCullough. And
I like how you say that.
I do too. The M is silent.
You guys
Keep going.
Yeah. So
Chuck's nugged out.
Yeah, I'm all nugged out now. No, I mean, like it wasn't a weird thing to pick the Thunder.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because you could ask me.
I mean, John picked the Blazers. You and me went Thunder.
I went Thunder.
Went chalk.
If you ask me, and Paul George's shoulder thing, I don't know how much that had to play with.
But it wasn't chalk.
It wasn't chalk.
Well, just a bit. The seeding, but not Vegas
or
whatever.
But yeah, I think it was. We were fine in picking the Blazers. This isn't.
And while I will apologize for being wrong about my prediction, I'll do a John and use this apology to praise myself.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I did tell you, stupid Blazers fans, you absolutely wanted to play the Thunder. What was wrong with you for trying to get on the other side of the bracket with the Warriors and the Rockets and the Jazz?
Yeah.
Idiotic.
Yeah.
You should have wanted to play the Thunder because they looked like trash for 2 months, and it turns out they were trash.
I don't know, man. You might have wanted to play the Jazz.
Well, I mean, playing the Jazz is fine, but you don't want to play the Rockets or the Warriors next.
Certainly.
No, the Clippers took 2 from the Warriors.
Now the Blazers have a very good opportunity to make the Western Conference Finals, like John Burr predicted. So, meaning it won't happen.
Sometimes there's a man.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's just one of those things where the Thunder looked so bad, and that really like. When you're citing something like Steven Adams taking over a series incorrectly, that should be some sort of code for you to be like, wow, maybe I shouldn't take this team.
And Steven Adams, like, he just showed up for nothing against their, scrap heap.
Can't play Adams, guys. Can't play Adams.
Scrap heap Cantor.
I'm lost. We can't play Adams.
Can play Cantor.
We can't play Gobert.
Can't play.
Oh no.
No. Well, you can play them in certain.
Can you play Drummond
in certain roles? I think the future of the center position in the NBA.
Can't play any Pistons.
You can play Capella. Capella, you can play. But is it just because of his teammates? You can play.
He does have the 2 best guards.
I think every team's going to need to have 3 big men eventually, or 3 centers. And kind of Miami's, way they have a big shot blocker. They have an athletic switchy guy, a shot blocker being Whiteside, switchy guy being Bam, and then they got a stretch shooter like Kelly Olynyk. I think you can't have you're never going to have one player do all of that.
Yeah, and so the Miami Heat have the center position perfectly locked down for the low price of $47 million.
Well,
at the center position,
playing a 6-man role.
Season. You can only play one of them at a time.
One of those contracts is tradable.
I guess Olynyk and Bam, they can share the
Bam
court.
Are great. Those are great contracts.
How did you get the Heat in here?
No, I'm just saying the future. I think that is a real thing because the modern NBA center. You said it last week. We shouldn't pay him.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't use your money.
So you should moneyball the skill sets needed for the center position. You should have a shooter.
You should sign Christian Wood for the minimum,
a post defender, and you got a switchy guy.
Don't spend money on centers, goaltenders, and bottled water. Just go cheap. Any bottle will do.
We should spell out the can play canter. That was up for my steak and eggs when the Blazers beat the Thunder. I was sharing in a group chat. I was like, I want Cantor to tweet something tonight.
Oh,
and I woke up the next morning to find out that he had tweeted "Can't play Cantor" in references to Billy Donovan getting caught on camera saying "Can't play Cantor" when he's getting abused in the pick and roll. And I know Knicks fans are mad at him because he's being outspoken. Everyone did right here.
Come on,
the Knicks did right by Enes Kanter.
Yeah,
like they should have been playing Luke Cornett and Mitchell Robinson, and then the Knicks were cool to him by letting him go to another team. But Kanter also gets to have this celebration. It's fine. Everyone, it's fine. Like, don't have to be upset. Everyone's okay here.
Cantor is like a poor man's, dictator's man's Joel Embiid at this point. He's got it on lockdown. He's very good at the socials.
No, when Yusuf Twerkic went down, I was like, it's not that like a crazy drop off. Cantor's a walking double-double. He's a walking double-double.
Big drop off on
didn't
defense
hurt him so far.
But Enes Kanter has improved over the years.
You know who's bad?
But they don't. Enes Kanter didn't have to put up numbers for the Blazers to win, and didn't in multiple games.
Yeah. He still got
pretty much just
rebounds.
game one.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I feel like when Nurkic went down, people were like, "This is going to give Zach Collins his opportunity." Zoc. I'm not a fan. I think he might be real bad.
He's better than Myers.
He might need. I
don't know.
A better incubation.
I might be Team
system.
Myers now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chuck, did you apologize? Did you have an apology?
Oh yeah, I'm apologizing because I don't know if you guys remember this year, the Memphis Grizzlies traded JaMychal Green.
Yeah.
Right?
Jam.
And like we were just like, just get rid of him. He's a bum. He's starting for the Clippers on a playoff team that's taking the Warriors to 6 games at least. And he might be the best Green in the series. Draymond's playing
Shots fired.
Draymond's playing like garbage, and I want to apologize for JaMychal for saying that you're trash. And
22 minutes and 6 fouls is all it takes to win over Chuck.
Man,
Clippers fans.
He also hiked up his shorts on Twerkic.
Yes, he did.
And he didn't want no smoke.
Clippers
he was
fans
a boss.
Are demanding JaMychal Green at all times.
Bruh.
Like Zubac, they couldn't use him.
Yeah.
They're like, we got to have JaMychal Green in.
Right.
Sabrina Merchant, who writes about the Clippers and about the Lakers, and also is a Fast Break Breakfast listener.
What up?
She was like, hey, what's up with JaMychal Green? I was like, he's not very good. He's like a replacement level dude. He hits some shots every now and then, and then he misses tons of shots all the time. His hands are kind of bad. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
And now she's like,
shopper.
She's like, this guy's doing great. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just used to being wrong
To
about
steal
things.
a phrase from Chuck, maybe it's just the culture.
Maybe it's the Grizzlies culture.
Or maybe, you move from Memphis to LA and you're happier.
Could be.
And then you perform better at work.
Get outside a little more.
But Draymond Green has
son.
been good.
He's been good. It was a joke. It was a joke.
He's not. He hasn't sucked, but he's
getting like 8 assists a game. He's kind of playing him.
His shooting percentage is garbage.
He's Draymond Green.
Yeah. But he's whatever. I don't know who
That's good. No,
who the finest green in California.
Glad you apologize to JaMychal Green because I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, did I get this guy wrong?
Yeah, and then it goes back
because like
to
all the Clippers bloggers and fans like him.
Right.
They're like, this guy's great.
And then that goes back to the structural rot in the Memphis organization where guys that we just discard end up being contributors on playoff teams. That's
right.
insane.
Garrett Temple's still kind of bad.
He is bad.
All right, those were our breakfast in bed apologies. Before we get to our steak and eggs best thing, we have several listener submitted questions. The croissant? Questionnaire.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Knock yourself out.
That croissant. Finish that croissant.
Kadong Sword Peace. I guess it's Monte World Peace. What's your
Kong's World
Peace? What's your go-to karaoke song? Mine is "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal.
Baby,
I compare you to Kiss from.
Yeah,
John, you're a very good singer. What's your karaoke go-to song? Because I feel like you understand the karaoke. It's important to walk that fine line of trying not to sound too sincere and good versus being an entertainer.
New Order's Blue Monday.
Okay.
7-minute no vocals version, just dancing.
That's amazing. That's a good one.
Also, close second place, little group called the Baja Men, Who Let the Dogs Out.
Oh,
That's good.
Just barking, though.
Just the barking.
Just barking. Point the mic at the audience for all the lyrics, and then bark.
Yeah.
Chuck, I bet you are also very good at karaoke.
Chuck is incredible at karaoke
Yeah.
and loves it.
That's not
Yeah,
surprising
I
at
agree.
all.
So my favorite. So I had this thing. If I really liked a girl,
Yeah.
we'd go out, take her out in East Nashville, and I would bring her to this dump called Fran's.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
That has
Can't go there anymore. It's racist.
Yeah, karaoke. It's apparently been co-opted by all the hip kids.
It's been canceled, unfortunately.
It's canceled.
But they got a karaoke machine, and I would just line up John Legend,
Oh, okay.
Ordinary People.
Okay.
And it's a very soulful song. And I always, right before I start singing, say, I've never sang this out loud before. And then I let the music start, and it's very soft, girl, I'm in love with you,
That is hilarious.
but this ain't a honeymoon. And then
Nice.
she's in bed with me.
So that's the one. That's your finishing move.
Oh,
that's your coffee is for closers.
And
What's your favorite hymn?
yeah. I'm terrible at karaoke.
Really?
Terrible at it.
I don't know how. I've never not been wasted at it, so I don't know if I'm actually good.
I've sung in a band,
Right.
and I'm a piano player by trade.
Then you should be fine.
But like I'm not great at karaoke.
This is like
Have you considered that you're bad at both of those
yeah, it could be.
and thusly bad at karaoke?
It could be. I normally go to either if it's early in the evening and I'm not like drunk.
Right.
right.
A warm up. I will do.
Implied.
I will do Roger Miller's "Dang Me," an old country number. So,
So-
not a. But then
He's a thoughtful karaoke
if I
artist.
need, after the party's going a little.
We all
bit,
have different goals. Chuck's trying to get laid. I'm trying to clear the room.
Oh, that's
Right,
yeah.
that's
yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out what Keith's.
I'm just trying to be a middle reliever. I'm just trying to keep the night
Eat
going.
the
You're
innings.
participating.
Eat innings
It's
eater.
You're
just-
participating.
I'm just trying to participate. Keep going. I will say the one thing I can do is I can do a "Here Comes the Boom" by POD. That if I need one, I could do that. Because here's the thing: I don't know any of the verses. But I do know when to say "Here comes the boom."
Yeah, that's it.
So as long as you go hard, as long as you sell it, and you try to say all the words on the screen while it's going.
Ready or not.
I may have just co-opted your "Here Comes the Boom."
Oh, yeah, you would do
that
that?
may have entered the repertoire.
So,
yeah, no, you should do that one because it is good.
so I actually won a
That might have just replaced Papa Roach for me.
I won a karaoke contest in Guam, and I sang "I Believe in a Thing Called Love" by the Darkness.
Yeah. See,
And-
Chuck, that's like that's like a basic bitch. A karaoke
This was
move.
2004, and had
Okay.
just came out, and the guy just got it on
That's true.
karaoke.
All right, that's good.
All right.
And I was
He
deployed.
was in Guam. Speaking of Guam,
I wouldn't do it now, but I was very proud
you
of that.
shouted
thing.
me down with the Guam.
speaking of Guam,
I did. I was fighting for our country, you jerk.
You dropped Guam 5 times in a row, and I was like, all right, okay.
well, so
It's like
I'm
9/11.
going to take a little detour
We were in the
from the croissant questionnaire. We're gonna do a little taste test, a little Easter taste test.
Hey,
Because speaking of Guam, I brought some bumpy beans. Chuck's bumpy beans.
that's what I got.
Feliz Navidad, everyone.
These are
He is risen now.
these
Eat
are
this candy.
These are big, chewy, sour, nerd, bumpy jelly beans. John has a handful.
Blue raspberry.
Now I'm trying to zoom in and get some of that texture. Oh, I'm just getting the texture of John's face.
It's textural.
So I'll describe the
I took the
texture.
blue pill.
It kind of looks like
it's great.
brain matter.
It's the size of what a cashew.
It looks like
if you pop a ball out and you pull the skin tight,
Yeah, it
get this
is
red
a
one.
bumpy
it, ha-
jelly bean.
it has the
it's a testicle.
consistency of a chewed up piece of gum that hasn't been stuck to the bottom of a desk yet.
What's our flavor? What's our flavor profile? Are we enjoying these?
Red ones are sour, guys.
They're all pretty sour.
Blue one's not sour. Red one's sour. That's poor flavor profiling.
Orange was good.
Red should be sweet. Strawberry or cherry. I guess it's sour cherry.
They're all sour. We had some sour cherries, some sour strawberries, some sour apples, and a blue raspberry.
Read the
Orange is
bag,
very
Bert.
sour.
Read the
Okay,
bag.
my bad. These are in fact sour jelly beans.
These were
So
purchased.
this was a prank. How you wanted my sour reaction?
These were purchased the day after
Oh.
Easter, half off at Kroger. I bought no less than 20 bags of jelly beans.
Little do you know,
How'd that go
John,
over with the fam?
I didn't eat any sour ones. I iced all of the regular ones, so you're the only one eating sour
They're
ones.
sour.
Gotcha.
I think nerds are a top 5 candy, by the way.
Oh, really?
It's just sugar.
How do you eat them? Do you put them in your hand or you go straight container to mouth?
Container to mouth.
Container to mouth.
And getting the last nerds out of that container is one of those truly arduous tasks that is really, really rewarding.
Because the container has got a little of your mouth moisture on there.
Right.
They start sticking. The paper starts melting a little.
Well,
You do it filthy like a dog.
So since we're doing visual content, I'm going to give you guys gifts that I brought back from from.
Oh, Chuck is pulling out gifts from his Denver sojourn. This video will be up on our Patreon page.
Wow.
Patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast.
Who wants the socks?
Socks me.
Oh, socks are incredible.
We want. Wait. Okay.
Sock me. Sock it to me.
And then Keith got a cool little grizzly.
So why do I? Oh, I got a little nugget.
That is
keychain.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Keith, everyone will know now.
Oh,
I'll be a secret fan.
What is this? Is that an
Underneath
ABA
those
logo?
pantalones?
I don't know.
That's
this.
an old logo,
This
and
old
they had
Nuggets logo.
I thought it was Sixer socks for a second, like the stupid Ben Franklin. This is even better.
Yeah.
I'm going to put these on right now.
Awesome, Chuck. Oh, I'm going to turn the video off for John taking his socks off. Anyway, thank you very much, Chuck.
I just broke this chair.
Oh! Chair is down. Are you still recording?
I just turned the video off. John has broken the chair. And here's the thing.
This is an Oliver Miller teachable moment.
This is John Burr
Robert Tractor Trailer realizing his career is over.
has broken the wooden chair. I have a confession. That chair has been broken for weeks.
Is that been waiting for this moment?
And I've been waiting for John Burr to fall, and it has not happened for nearly a month.
I'm holding on to that. That's precious information.
Let's pull up a replacement chair for John.
Didn't one of these chairs broken like in season 2? Didn't I almost die in an
I don't
episode?
remember season 2 had a drug problem.
Oh, anyway, we're gonna need.
It's just a mess now.
We're gonna need a moment as.
I just threw a chair at John. He can't get the chair to sit up, so he's putting it against a wall.
We are having a really enjoyable time right now, which I'm not sure is going to come across in the audio format.
No.
I was just trying to put on socks, man.
John was trying to put on socks, and the chair broke. He fell over. Oh, man. Anyway, Chuck, can you read us another croissant questionnaire question? We've gotten a little off. Maybe a basketball. We have a basketball-related one.
Yeah, let's do a basketball one.
Is this chair stable?
That chair should be stable, John.
Is this chair stable?
I can't believe I wasn't filming the moment of impact.
Oh, I feel like Amy Schumer right now. Am I fat or am I sexy? You've made it too nebulous.
Which NBA team has the worst, dumbest name?
The Magic. Next question.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Heat.
All right.
I don't like
The Heat's fine.
It's just, it's hard to...
Should they just go straight Miami Vice?
Yeah, but you get feel the heat.
Miami Heat has enough of a culture, if you will, around them. Then we can move on.
Memphis Grizzlies is really bad.
It's not good.
It was better when
the
it was
Orlando
the
Magic is
Vancouver.
horrible.
Oklahoma City Thunder is terrible.
Pretty bad. I don't hate it. I hate their
To
jerseys.
go from Seattle Supersonics, one of the coolest names,
Yeah.
to Thunder, ouch.
Yeah, that's like a Pee Wee League
Best one's the
baseball
Nets.
team.
Nets is the best one.
What else you got, Chuck?
What would be worse for a player? This comes from Young Hueva. What would be worse for a player's legacy? Losing to an 8 seed in the first round or not making the playoffs one year?
Not making the playoffs.
Wait.
I don't. So we have this situation. We have LeBron James missing
Right.
the playoffs. We had Dirk Nowitzki as a 1 seed losing to an 8 seed. Tim Duncan lost as an 8 seed.
Yeah. And whose legacy is impacted?
I don't know.
It's literally been discussed as now, the greatest player of all time debate is now over. His legacy has literally been impacted by it. I don't think anyone brings it up with Duncan and Dirk. I think this question has been definitively answered.
I think you're close to being correct. I'm not.
I could
sure
only hear
it's
your
really-
anger. Where
I'm
did
not
we get-
angry.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
I
a
just
sugar
broke
rush.
a chair.
It's a sugar rush.
I
in
also
those
am
nerds.
out of ketosis.
Chuck is such a sweet guy. When you get that anger, he just hears like Charlie Brown teacher.
Yeah, like, wah, wah,
can't-
wah, wah, wah.
you
You need to change your energy.
I think
before
that
you
question
speak
is
to me.
answered. Also, we got a question here from Patrick Kirkner. I think his question has been answered as well. Would Dikembe's finger wag get whistled as a technical foul in today's NBA? Yes,
100%.
Yes, because that's a rule that the finger wag is a technical.
And
you have to look away and look at the crowd.
didn't he?
And then he
get
asks-
a technical while he played doing that.
Well, then Patrick asks, "How about Sam Cassell's big balls dance?"
100%.
Yes, Sam Cassell's big ball dance gets a technical
He get
foul.
me too'd.
when you do it.
That's a 6-game
So
suspension.
Patrick is saying, I guess what I'm asking is, are there any iconic celebrations from the past that would be allowed in an NBA that considers this a technical?
Have you seen Pat Beverly's?
Which one?
So immediately after he does something scummy, he transforms into a crazy street hobo person.
I didn't imagine it would be so physically difficult to watch you put on
I'm
socks.
breathing heavily.
You're like out of breath.
That was almost a cardiac event. Well, this is really gross. My super long toenails got caught in all the fabric.
No. That makes me nauseous.
This has not been a good show for me.
We should have been filming so we could show a doctor how little your skin came back out when you took your socks off. How deep?
I get that ad exclusively.
How deep is John's sock indentation?
So
let's show this to a cardiologist.
This podcast has gotten too real. I quit.
So we got
an intervention. Give me some more jelly beans.
We got one more question. I'm going to take this one. This one comes from Antoon K.
Antoon's from somewhere insane.
He's from
Croatia, right?
Croatia, an island off the Croatian coast.
He's like from the Isle of Lesbos. It's amazing.
He's one of the happiest people.
He's from the Havarti.
No,
Havarti cheese.
He sends those photos.
Yeah.
He's live in paradise. I guess I live in paradise.
Yeah.
And he's invited you. Like, you could come live here.
Come on, come
I'm like,
chill.
no, I live in a hellscape of America. I'm just going to stay here.
Yeah, I got robbed 100 feet from my house.
There's a festival in Havar.
So I'm going to read Antoon's question in the voice of NoHo Hank from the television show Barry.
Outstanding.
I don't do a good one, but it's going to be, I think it'll encapsulate a little bit more Antoon's.
You are a lot like him.
Sunday nights are alive once again with the return of the HBO original Barry. Which is good.
Amazing.
Hi, guys. I'm longtime listener, first-time caller. Smiley face emoji. Question. If Rockets will win this season, would Melo accept a ring if Rockets decide to give him one? And will he put NBA champion on his resume to get in Hall of Fame? Thanks. Stay beautiful. Peace. What? I'm not good at accents.
Barry.
I do one accent, and it's an Irish accent.
So evil. Haven't I told you that?
Haven't I told you that? Oh, no.
That's a great. That might be the question of the year.
Sock number 2, guys.
It really is.
If the Rockets win the title, does Carmelo get an NBA championship little note on his basketball reference page?
He played 0 minutes, right? Did he play? No, he did play.
No, he played some games.
He played some games, and he was garbage, and then they were just like, we'll keep you on the roster, just don't show up.
Yeah, they kept him on the roster for a long time.
Yeah. When did he get released?
I am uncomfortable trying to answer this question.
Maury let him go for cap reasons, I'm sure. But yeah.
I feel like this will get litigated at some point.
Speaking of, there's video of Melo shooting, 8-foot jumpers.
8-foot
looking
jumpers.
winded, looking like Bird. Just
putting on my socks.
Putting on socks.
My shoes don't fit now.
They're very thick, comfy. Warm
Is this a hot
socks.
take? There's no reason they needed to get rid of Carmelo Anthony. That might be a hot take.
There's no need.
They were bad the first 20 games, but now they're
Yeah.
awesome now. I don't think he would hurt them.
Yeah.
Maybe he would.
Maybe it was a locker room issue.
Yeah, maybe so.
So, Keith, this is what it's like, huh?
Maybe you guys.
I just pulled 4 beans, dog. 4 blue beans. What are the odds? Huh?
You guys did not describe the nerd jelly bean, I think, sufficiently.
A testicle. It's a
tasted
blue
them.
testicle.
Well, it's a crunchy outside. It's a chewy jelly bean inside. It's a jelly bean
it's sour.
coated in nerds, and it's sour. I would give these pretty good. The 3 I've had have been pretty nice. Anyway, I guess it is. His defense was terrible. But I mean, like, you're saying, like, they definitely need Daniel House over him. I mean, I guess so.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I
thought it was Daniel.
Daniel.
I can't remember. Someone was loudly proclaiming how to pronounce his name on Twitter, and I remember Mr. House said, "No, that's wrong." So I don't remember which way
Got
it goes.
Is it Hoos?
Yeah.
It's Eddie House.
Let's do. Actually, I have one more.
Well, let's do it. I love these questions.
I have one more croissant questionnaire.
And by the way, if you want to submit a question, you got to join our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast or fastbreakbreak. Which one is it?
Patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast.
Fast Break Breakfast. Sign up. You can chat with us in Slack. The Slack is
Slack is amazing.
the most fun. You can talk to people from all over the world, all the time. We got people in Croatia, people in Australia, and they're the coolest basketball fans I've met. And
All
I'm proud to call them the homies.
So Candy Fiend asks,
Is that you?
it's me.
Yeah, I figured. Burner.
Concerning his potential future earnings, in retrospect, would it have been better for Nick Vucevic to have torn his ACL before the playoffs?
Yes. Ouch.
Well, he ran it.
Marc Gasol, I don't mean to be lewd. Marc Gasol pulled his pants down and spanked his naked bottom
Stop. That's
and told
my
him
best.
and told him to go home.
That's my best of the week.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nostradamus over here, as predicted.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Nick Vucevic put up this season. We were like, he's an all-star.
Hey, man.
He carried the Magic to the playoffs.
He's not playing Dwayne Dedman every other night.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Shark.
Dwayne Dedman is good.
Yeah, I know.
How dare
I'm
you?
just saying that he's not playing, this is the playoffs. It's time. That's Joel Embiid and Marc Gasol staring down your dome.
Yeah. And an engaged Marc Gasol. Someone who's got
his
a fire in his
minutes
butt.
went up in the postseason.
Yeah.
Vucevic?
Yeah, he went from averaging 21 and 12 and 4 assists.
He got eaten
on over 50% field goal percentage.
Like Robert Shaw
shooting.
and Jaws. Like, ah! He's still in that shark's mouth.
He
when
averaged
opens.
11 points per game.
When Marc Gasol opens his
11
mouth,
points
there's
per game.
a license plate, Robert Shaw.
He lost 10
and
points per
Nicholas
game
Vucevic.
in the playoffs. His first ever trip to the playoffs outside of 3 minutes he played on the Sixers in 2012.
They kept showing dejected Terrence Ross on the sideline. They should have been showing Vucci Mane. They should have had a camera Fear Factor style on that goose face.
Yeah, so anyway. Who's going to sign? I mean, now the Magic have to re-sign him, but you don't want to pay him money. You don't want to pay centers, I don't think.
You don't pay centers.
But wow, did he collapse in the playoffs. And I know that the Raptors might be a uniquely awesome defensive team.
Right.
And again, who
Lot
else
of
is
length.
Who else is going to hurt you? I know DJ Augustine had a game.
It's
but
the length and the IQ.
Evan Fournier.
All those guys are they're just very good at helping and switching, and it's an amazing defensive team to watch. Plus, Mark, if we doing our best,
Can we get more? Couldn't we have gotten more from Mark? I shouldn't do that. Let's leave the croissant questionnaire. Shout out listener Luke Hall. I did get your question via the Patreon site, which you guys are free to message us anytime you want. But we'd already covered Jermichael Green, so we didn't do it.
There you go. Yeah, so if you want to support the show, like Chuck said, patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. You can send your questions through there or in the Slack chat. We got the little channel for the croissant questionnaire.
join the global community.
Fast Break Breakfast.
Truly, Havarti.
SeatGeek saves you time and saves you money. Two of the more important commodities in our lives these days. They aggregate ticket selling sites together, so you don't have to go to 8 sites and then, I'm going to look at the 9th one now because I'm not quite sure. I was totally that way, of course. And then they also rank every ticket based on value. So you look at the section you want to sit in, find that big green dot, the darker green, the better. You'll start to experience just endorphins when you see that green dot and know that you're getting an awesome deal on the ticket. I used SeatGeek to go to a Bucks Wizards game, got awesome seats there for my fiance and me. So the way to get started with them, download the SeatGeek app and enter that familiar promo code
Fast Break Break.
by using that code to get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. That's promo code
Fast Break Break.
for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Let them know that you came from us.
Fast Break Break. John is an asshole. Fast Break Break.
All right, steak and eggs. Best thing.
So
Best thing you saw.
I'm
Chuck,
talking
what did you say,
about,
buddy.
I'm talking about Mark.
Is it the shark attack?
Finally seeing after watching him play for Memphis 2 years with this kind of just, okay, I'm here, but what are we doing here kind of vibe.
Not accurate.
This is an engaged Marc Gasol. He was a little bit, he seemed lackadaisical towards the end of the run there in Memphis, and he finally, he
Quit
looked,
feeding the narrative of the haters. Chuck.
wait, can you guys give me a minute?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got a thing cooking here. Hold on.
Setup? I'm sorry.
Yeah. He looked, he took care of Vucci Mane. He looked strong. And you want to see a strong Gasol, because nobody likes Shark Week.
Oh, my God.
See how proud
The
Chuck is.
time.
Oh, you
The
should.
effort.
Yeah,
Did you
so
see?
It's a Shark Week.
Oh,
Yeah,
Uncle Chuck.
that's pretty good.
You're going to need a bigger pun.
Oh.
If
keep
you
it
want.
coming.
I got it.
Keep it coming.
I'm done.
So I'm having a hard time.
You said Robert
with
Shaw.
I'm having a hard time with Marc Gasol.
I'm
being
not.
awesome.
Marc
You're just loving
Gasol
it?
is living. He's the dog.
You think he likes...
He's my childhood dog who lived on a chain and ran the grass patch down to dirt.
Keith, when they tell
Who
you
did?
they took your dog to the farm,
Oh, now you're
he was
stepping on my
dead.
thing.
Oh, sorry.
But we did actually give it to a person who I don't know if their thing was just killing dogs, but we did give it to someone who said they had a farm.
That's going to be season 4 of True Detective.
Oh, speaking of animals, I should finish this story up
Uh-oh.
for our weekly listeners.
I did notice a fancy item out in the front patio.
the legendary squirrel has been captured.
Did you ever name it?
What? Did you send a picture?
A picture to who?
all of us.
Oh, just to you guys?
Yeah.
No, I didn't send a
We're
picture.
I feel like I
very
know that
invested in
squirrel.
Well, anyway, so I'd taken out 4 squirrels. One committed, I don't know, ritual suicide to not be transported.
Might have been a hunger strike.
Yeah. But anyway, I had taken out 4 squirrels in the Great War, but the legendary squirrel who lives inside my house was just mocking the trap. I had a video that I'd shared in our Slack of the squirrel going inside the trap, taking what he wanted, smoking
a cigarette,
saying peace out, and then leaving the trap. Sometimes when he left, he would. Sometimes when he left, he would like close the trap behind him,
just to make sure nobody
hit
else.
It, like, blam! I don't want my buddies to get caught in here. Doesn't know what he's doing.
That's like Dame Lillard waving bye-bye.
It was very much a Dame Lillard control of the situation. So I had to upgrade traps.
That was like a BMW trap.
So I had to get the bigger trap, the $45 trap, where he had to go all the way in to get the goodies, and he probably was going to set it off. He even made it in and out of it without setting it off once. So I set it like where I thought if you blew on it, like the little thing was barely hanging onto the nub or whatever they grabbed onto, and I got him. And the war's over, I believe. I can now repair my attic. It cost me $60 as opposed to $950
to get a professional.
So that means I now have $890 to
spend in Vegas
to blow on candy.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Now that you've caught and killed that squirrel,
I transported it to a very nice wooded area, illegally, mind you.
Take the trap back.
Yeah, I bought it online. I could. It's pristine. The trap is pristine.
I didn't see nary a bit.
I need to wipe out a little peanut butter. There's little peanut butter all over it.
I say
hose it down. It's metal.
I say send it back. Maybe worst case scenario, start some kind of like vermin outbreak. Not in our country though.
Look,
because that trap came from Cambodia. Or
I have very few things I have faith in more than your ability to get something out of customer service with a phone call.
No, yeah,
you got a skill set.
Thank you.
It's a skill that you have perfected over years. I wish I knew the Taken monologue by heart because I would have put it in there.
Oh yeah,
very special set of skills.
Yes. And yours is
good luck.
I will get this item for free.
I will not pay for League Pass this year.
John, what is your steak and eggs best thing?
Well, Chuck was basic earlier. It's my turn. Dame Lillard with top 3 shot in NBA history.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's not like a big closeout game.
It was absolutely a closeout game.
It was a closeout game.
It's not on their side.
The Michael Jordan over the Cavs, I think, is better.
Peter Dinklage.
Are you had sex?
Game of Scones.
Game of Scones off the top of my dome edition, so get ready. Could be incorrect.
Oh, wow.
Chuck,
never go wrong.
There have only been 7 closeout playoff game winners. Dame Lillard is now tied with whom for first place all time?
And what the number of them? Because he has 2 series closing.
Correct.
Buzzer beaters. Okay.
I wasn't going to tell him that, but yes, that's correct. There's 2.
I was trying to figure out what the
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
There it is, Chuck. I think the only other ones are Keith.
I was thinking John Stockton has one.
John Stockton has one.
Paxton?
There was a famous Fred Sampson one.
I guess the Paxton one counts, but there's still time on the clock, right?
I don't think the Paxton one counts, and I don't think one of the Jordan ones should count.
I don't think
the one on Brian Scott should count.
Yeah.
Byron
Russell.
Byron Russell, yes.
Byron Russell. That one, yeah, still time on the clock. Still time on the clock.
But they count that one.
Interesting.
But that's correct. Mini game of Scones.
I like the walk
off.
Buzzer beater, ball in the air.
Nobody can do anything. You just crush souls.
The Jordan one on the Cavs is better because if he misses this shot, the Bulls lose the series.
Right.
This shot is the entire series. This was a tie ball game.
And here's what I think.
If they lose that game, they're still up 3-2.
Right. And does he take that shot in a game 7 down 2?
That's the question.
I don't think so. I think you're playing with house money, and he's doing the thing where, like, hey, if I make this, it's a no, like, he doesn't lose.
It was still incredible.
It was incredible.
It was house money.
And I'm not trying to belittle it, but, like, it isn't as pressure-packed as that whatever Jordan push-off.
I don't remember the circumstances of the John Stockton. Wasn't that a tie ball game?
Yes, it was a game-winning tie ball game.
Tie ball game. Because when you're down,
right,
that's the better
big
game winners.
Yeah.
It does take a little off of Dame's thing in that he knew that was house money.
Right.
Right.
And still.
But no, it's an incredible, wonderful,
and the 15-point rally.
Right, that was it. The come from behind.
A 50-point game. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, that's one way to get your 50. This brings us back to the croissant queries, though, because this is one I want to tie in. Feeling Minnesota asks, is Dame Lillard's singular evisceration, destruction, and disembowelment of Russell Westbrook the greatest mano-a-mano playoff beef defeat in NBA history?
That's a great question.
It's a good one.
I wanted to talk about it anyway. We were going to get to it. But yeah.
What do you think?
Narrative-wise, I remember these games from a long time ago, but obviously I can't remember them that well. Narrative-wise,
I can only think of one.
We talk a lot about the Hakeem Olajuwon versus Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Also, there's Hakeem and Shaq.
Okay. Yeah. So
now one-on-one beefs like that, it's less rare. My favorite ones are the team beefs.
You also have the Jordan over Barkley,
right,
where Barkley won the MVP. When Barkley in that series has admitted
Carmelo,
that was the first time I ever realized that I was not the best player in the world. I thought I was still the best player in the world until I played Jordan in that series. And I'm like, this guy, he's better than me.
Yeah.
I also think about, like, not just in the Blazers franchise history. I feel like Michael Jordan ended Clyde Drexler. Like, Clyde Drexler,
he chased him around the league.
Yeah, like, yeah. But again, these are all like narrative, possibly even constructs, because I don't remember them because I was like 11 when stuff happened. But I remember that's the stuff we talked about was Jordan wanted to eviscerate Drexler and did that kind of thing. So, but this is also great. All the quotes.
There is a better one.
The Dame Lillard. Oh, what is it?
Isaiah Thomas in 1987. Said that Larry Bird on any other team, if he was black, would be just another guy.
That's true.
The very next game, Bird steals the ball.
It was good.
There's a steal by Bird, lays it into DJ, passes DJ, lays it in. They win that. But
but also that was part of Isaiah Thomas's journey up the mountain, if you will. Like,
also,
he then overcame it. You know,
and Isaiah also like later says like after that it was like, oh my God. He did that to me because of what I said. He laid in wait like a viper. But I think the Dame Russ thing is a very close second. It's on that kind of level.
My favorite beef of all time was Amari Stoudemire and a fire extinguisher. Because it was the only time an NBA player got defeated by an inanimate object.
Well, actually,
Enes Kanter lost to a chair.
Lost to a chair too.
Live on TV.
What a clown! Huh? Yes, Dame Lillard is like what? He's like a Steph Curry that doesn't shrink from the spotlight.
Well, I think okay. Would you rather have Steph or Dame Lillard take the last shot in the game?
Wow, that's a great question.
I think Dame.
I mean, again, I was tongue in cheek, Steph Curry there, but. I think right now I would rather have Dame hit for the last shot in the game.
As crazy as it sounds, and that kind of feeds into the hilarious Paul George quote about it being a bad shot, which, by the way, shoots 42% from there.
Yeah, I think the accuracy was like, they were saying over 30 feet, but he only taken one shot past 35 feet.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, he shot a 37-footer. It's crazy, but...
I thought, when he dribbled the ball up, I thought to myself, he's going to ISO him and then pull back and shoot one of those crazy long threes. And it's going to go in.
Yeah.
That is the mark. When you think someone's going to do something that crazy.
Right.
And I felt 100%.
Right.
I was watching with my buddy.
Oh, everyone thought it was going in. Like, no.
And my buddy. So I had people I was working with who are not basketball fans. And when he shot that, they were all going crazy. They're like, well, he is out of his mind. And as it left his fingertips, I said, no, it's going to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And splash.
I filmed it live. I'm like, I'm gonna.
Because you knew.
I was like, I don't always film the end of games because like everyone films the end of games trying to get like the tweet.
We're not
to go
tooting
up.
our horns here. We are tooting Damian Lillard.
No, I'm saying everyone knew it, and I was sitting there watching him dribble with like 19 seconds left. I'm like, oh, I need to film this because he's gonna hit a game winner. Like he's gonna make a game winner.
He's gonna shoot a 40-foot game winner.
And I'm like, but I didn't think that. I thought he was gonna dribble and pull up and hit a game winner. But then I'm just filming, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is going in.
I really thought he was gonna shoot the insane shot.
I do have a question. He waved bye-bye. Right. To the other team. However, he waved by like pulling his hand shut, like squeezing his fingers towards his
reference
palm.
to the classic film The Omen, featuring another character named Damien.
Oh,
little childlike wave.
That's
son of Satan.
So if that was the reference,
it's not a reference because I made that up. But
God, we need to make that. We need to start that rumor.
I was very curious if other people waved that way by just closing their fingers towards their palm. Like I shake my hand side to side.
It's just kind of a childish, like a royal wave.
The way he's like, when the tips of his fingers touch his palm, he like squeezes.
It's a power move.
Hey, Fast Break Breakfast Land, whoever knows how to do this, put side-by-side video of Dame doing that wave and the Omen kid doing the wave.
I don't think he actually waves. I think he just looks back at him.
Oh, okay.
But he's the son of the devil.
my best thing...
Cut off David Warner's head.
My best thing was the brief moments where James Harden was making a run at the Tim Hardaway record 0 for 17 shooting performance. When he got to 0 for 15, I mean, I knew... Much like I knew Dame Lillard's shot was going in, I knew James Harden would not set the record, but I also recognized I don't know if I'll ever get another 0 for 15 in my life. This could be as good as it gets for missing shots.
And then like Steph Curry tried to do it, and Donovan Mitchell tried to do
then
it.
People that'll
Ricky Rubio
foreshadow
every single night.
Epic International Stackhouse of Pancakes this week. All right, opposite of steak and eggs, what's your worst thing? What is your cream of wheat worst of week?
I don't want to see Andrew Bogut play basketball ever again.
Oh man, this is real.
I don't understand why you need to play that goofus against the Clippers of all teams, who really don't have anybody other than Gallinari over 6'8".
And Looney looks good.
And Looney's faster.
And he's only getting like 20 minutes. Looney looks good. Bogut is starting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
gross.
You just miss Zaza on days like this.
You guys saw the Steve Kerr post-game presser, right?
He's kind of losing it.
That guy's shook. That guy is legitimately shook.
I think he sees the lock on the dominance disappearing. He understands that maybe the plane is in tailspin, and he might not be able to get it straight before the landing, and he's afraid.
Luckily, he coaches probably the best team ever, so it's all going to work out for him, but he is upset.
Right.
Here's my hot take.
He acted like a jerk. Yeah.
The Warriors want it to be over. They don't want to be playing basketball right now.
No.
They want it to be over.
They hate it.
They want something else to happen. They want Durant to move on. They want it to be over.
My worst ties into what Keith is saying a little bit. My worst is I think that a lot of the narratives, such as they want it to be over and Russell Westbrook is the worst in killing his team, are really overblown. The Clippers are a good team. We should be talking about how good the Clippers and Lou Williams are, not the Warriors pooping their pants. That's a better narrative. That's a stronger narrative than they want it to be over. They don't want to win the NBA championship again. Because they do. Right. They want to win the NBA championship again. Also, Russ Westbrook, bad as he was, back me up on this, Keith, there have been worse in this playoffs. Russell Westbrook had a better playoff series than, say, Donovan Mitchell. Russ Westbrook had a better playoff series than D'Lo.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell.
Russ Westbrook had a better playoff series than a lot of guys. I mean, he's leading the playoffs in assists. Yeah. I'm not defending Russ Westbrook saying he had a good playoff series, but to focus solely on that and talk about him ruining his team, it just doesn't seem real to me, and that's my worst.
Yeah, I think he's he's being put in this place because I don't know. I think he's just kind of had that. He's got that ornery personality with the media and all that next question.
He doesn't talk to some of them. Although that guy Barry, what's his nuts, is
I'm sure he's
a complete troll.
And I'm not. And he has the right to say whoever he wants to whatever he wants or whatever.
Right.
I think the problem he's slowing down. He's a player that his whole game was based off an explosive nature that was kind of unheard of. And a half a step on that. So when you can't shoot a three and you've never managed to...
To me, it's just his inability to shoot is what's...
If he ever managed to shoot a three, then his game would have evolved into a different thing when his athleticism
So his athleticism is obviously declining. To what John is saying,
right.
In this series, everyone has buried Russell Westbrook and said he is done. You can't build around him. One of the worst contracts. A guy who doesn't know how to play because he doesn't know how to control himself or he takes bad shots. Can Russell Westbrook carry a team when Paul George has a hurt shoulder? Right. Not at all.
Right.
Why isn't Paul George should be getting a lot more blame? Just Paul George played great in that last game.
I think he gets off because of the shoulder, and then I think Russ's comments about Lillard, they just came home to roost.
So then, in that final elimination game, Russell Westbrook became the first player in NBA history to have a 20-point triple-double with 4 steals and 2 blocks. He had 29 points, 14 assists, 10 rebounds. That's never happened before in the history of the NBA.
He did his absolute best.
He tried so hard. So he missed. So he missed a lot of shots. Like you're saying, oh, he missed a ton of shots. Like John said, he's had a better playoffs than a lot of these guys. Even just shooting 3-point percentage. Wait, what's that song?
Oh no.
Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter
Night King's coming. Night King's coming. Night King's coming. Night King's coming.
Okay, game of scones. Of the guys, of the 50 players who have taken the most 3-pointers in the playoffs so far. I'm going to name some guys, and you have to tell me
They shot better.
if they shot better or worse than Russell Westbrook. The name of this game is Russell Westbrook.
There we go.
So if I name the player, if they shot lower 3-point field goal percentage than Russell Westbrook, you're going to say Russell.
Gotcha.
If they shot better, you're going to say Westbrook. So if I
We
say,
can do this, Chuck. We can.
for example, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the answer is Russell.
Do I get credit for that?
Shooting 20% from threes. If I say Dame Lillard,
And this is only 3-point shots.
Westbrook.
Westbrook.
This is 3-point field goal percentage of the top
Dame Lillard
50
from 62 feet.
guys.
Westbrook.
All these guys have taken more than 4 3-pointers per game in the playoffs. Okay, Chuck, I'm going to let you go first. Donovan Mitchell.
Wursel.
That's correct.
Bang.
Here's the thing. Donovan Mitchell is no longer hurdy-gurdy, man. He is mellow yellow until further notice.
John.
He shot like 24%.
John. Chris Paul.
Westbrook.
No. Wursel.
Wow.
Chris Paul is shooting 21% from 3.
Whoa.
Evan Fournier.
That's a trick. Westbrook.
No, Wursel.
I think we're getting
Evan
all
Fournier is on 6.8 attempts per game, made 1.6, 23.5%.
Zoinks.
John, Joe Ingles.
I'll go Wursel.
Wursel. Joe Ingles shot 27%.
Impossible.
Sense a pattern.
Chuck.
The point has been made.
Danilo Gallinari.
Wursel.
Oh, Def.
He shot 27%.
Mos
John.
Def.
Paul George.
He was like 1% less. Wursel.
Wursel.
Give me one. I know the
Chuck.
answer.
Wayne Ellington. Sharpshooter. Beef Wellington.
Wursel.
Wursel. John. Joe Harris, the NBA's 3-point champion.
Definitely Wursel.
Chuck. Bojan Bogdanovic, Matt Moore's third-team All-NBA sniper for the Indiana Pacers.
Chef Boyan D. Wursel.
It's Wursel.
Wursel.
He's going to throw a Westbrook in here. It's going to get us.
John.
Yeah.
Jay Crowder. Carry into the Utah Jazz.
Westbrook.
No!
Ah! Somebody's got to lose, Chuck. It's going to be
Chuck. Wes Matthews.
Wursel.
I'm sorry, it's Westbrook.
Oh, he got us. He got us.
Oh, that was the end. That was his I see dead people twist.
That's right.
There was more. I thought about doing a couple
There's
of other
way
ones.
more. Hasn't, I mean.
Terrence Ross was going to be a trick one. Terrence Ross was better at 34%.
Isn't Harden like worse?
I was going to throw Harden. Harden is better.
Is? Okay.
So all that to say,
Embiid's way
everyone
worse.
is talking D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell is going to be my trick because he shot an 0.08% better.
Yeah.
But all these guys are shooting 6 to 7 threes per game. Russell Westbrook made a higher percentage of his threes than all of these guys who are considered shooters. And Westbrook adds the, you can argue against the rebounding, but he brings more. He's attacking the defense, putting the defense on their heels at all times. Do I want Russell Westbrook on my team? That's a different question. That's hard.
It's just gone too far.
But it's gone too far.
Yeah.
He played fine. I mean, I got 2,500 likes for a tweet pointing out that Montrezl Harrell has made more field goals than Russell Westbrook on 57 fewer attempts.
That's not fair. Montrezl Harrell has never missed. Ever.
It's not fair. It's funny.
He has
It's
never
funny
missed
though.
a shot.
But the pushback has been wrong. All of these guys shot worse 3-point percentages this playoffs than Russell Westbrook did. Anyway, that kind of goes to my worst of week. My worst of week is the Utah Jazz.
Good grief.
They call
Twofold.
me mellow yellow.
One, yes, Donovan Mitchell was horrible.
Garbage.
Donovan Mitchell is the first player since Bob Cousy in 1960
Back when they shot into literal baskets.
to average 20.
The ball was a dog's head.
Splinters in your eyes were the biggest injury.
He is the first player in 59 years to average 20 field goal attempts per game.
George Mikan wore bifocals
and make less than a
during games.
Third of them.
They went to games in schooners.
I also was going to ask you guys.
The ball had laces.
That's right. I also was going to ask you guys who are the players to shoot.
They used the N-word willy-nilly back then. There were no black people.
The dark days, ironically. Of
anyway,
the NBA.
Here are all the players to shoot over 100 field goals and hit less than a third of them in the last 50 years. Mookie Blaylock, Sam Perkins,
Pearl Jam,
Jerry Stackhouse,
Stack God,
Lindsey Hunter, Larry Hughes, Caron Butler, and then in the last 3 years, last 2 years, Jordan Clarkson last year, Jay Crowder last year, and Donovan Mitchell this year. So anyway, Donovan Mitchell was terrible. My question to you guys, who's the worst player you could have subbed in for Donovan Mitchell that would have the Jazz winning that series 3-2 right now?
Russell Westbrook.
Because games 3 and 5, they lost close games to the Jazz.
He was
historically bad shooting by Harden.
He was 13 for 52 with 8 assists and 9 turnovers.
What do you have in the last game? 14 points?
He was 4 for 22 with 1 assist and 5 turnovers. Legendary. Is it Eric Gordon?
Eric Gordon's been balling. The Gordon Swisherman.
If you let Dion Waiters do every shot that Joe,
I was going to say Dion Waiters, but I was afraid you were going to laugh me out of the room.
I mean, I love Donovan Mitchell. I have him in some dynasty fantasy leagues.
You're finished.
But I drank too much Kool-Aid. He was so bad this playoff season.
I'm trying to think of a real answer.
Jeremy Lin.
Like if you have Drew Holiday in there, they win these games.
Yeah. No. Well.
Yeah.
Like if you have Mike Conley, it isn't really Mike Conley's
I'm trying
role.
to think of someone worse than those guys. What about Bojan Bogdanovic?
What about CJ? What about
Bojan?
CJ McCollum?
Ooh,
because he's better than.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Donovan Mitchell was better than CJ McCollum like a month ago, but I don't know. CJ McCollum is crushing the playoffs right now.
Well,
I don't think CJ McCollum can reach. Well, actually, he can reach the heights of Donovan Mitchell's performances.
I didn't think so. I'm just saying this performance was so lacking. And yes, it's all about the Jazz. Joe Ingles did not hit his shots. Cephalosha, Korver couldn't even play.
Ricky Rubio's so bad.
Ricky Rubio was like their guy, their heart in that last game. He was the only guy doing stuff.
And it's got to be hard for Jazz fans to play in the arena now, knowing there's far less racists there.
I feel like they lost their edge ever since they kicked that racist
and a part
out.
of their fan base ever since that Korver let.
I'm going to Jazz games anymore.
I feel like that Jazz home court advantage turned it down to 9. It wasn't 11. Now it's just a little more.
I think.
What do you mean we got to share water fountains?
I think. I think what happens with these younger.
Was that Bob Cousy talking?
Yeah, that was George Mikan.
I'm George Mikan. I can't see anything.
I think.
Pass me that dog's head. I'll dunk it.
With these young guys who played well in the regular season, and now whatever they need a couple more.
I'm gonna go have an egg cream. My favorite food is hamburger steak.
Well done.
Another thing about that Jazz series that really upset me
bar nuts
is the defensive strategy, which has been talked about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The way they funneled James Harden into the paint, conceding the middle of the paint,
literally playing behind him,
pushing to the goal. Like it was goofy in the first 2 games. They kind of got a little better at it. They understood what they wanted to do.
Well, it looked terrible.
It looked terrible, and I still think based on games 3 and 4 and 5, even when they got better at it, going solely with that was a massive mistake.
Yeah,
a massive strategic mistake. Because I think what they did, I think they played themselves. I think they thought too hard about it.
They played yourself.
They came up with a weird thing, and there might be some part of this that I don't understand correctly.
Okay.
So maybe I'm wrong here, but my understanding is their thinking was James Harden, when he takes a step back 3, the expected points of that shot is 1.2 points. He's making 40% of his step back 3-pointers, so expected value of him doing a step back is 1.2 points. That's terrible. We can't let him have that. If he gets to the goal and kicks it to the corner, that's like a 1.4 points per possession. That's also terrible.
Can't let him have that.
Best case scenario is he shoots a floater. If he shoots a floater, we only have like a 0.8 points per shot anticipated points. So this is what they're thinking. This is the progression of analytics is The best shot possible for James Harden to do is to make him shoot it and to shoot a floater. And James Harden played into it. He shot a terrible percentage on floaters. Mm-hmm. So that's why they did all this. That's at least my understanding of why they tried to play this
They're
really
trying
weird
to be disruptors.
defense.
They're trying to change it so that, they don't know how to handle it in game, and you can steal a game.
I think the Jazz were a good defensive team. That's their identity.
Right.
I think it's a much better choice to make James Harden actually hit 40% of his step-back threes in the playoffs. This is a man, James Harden, who has collapsed in the playoffs several times. James Harden's 3 points.
I mean, he did it again. They just the Jazz were so bad they couldn't capitalize.
Right.
So bad.
Their argument is it kind of worked in games 3 and 5, but James Harden, the last 3 years, 2 of the last 3 seasons in the postseason, he shot under 30% on threes. His best 3-point shooting season in the last 3 seasons is just 31% in the postseason.
I literally thought he shot worse than Russell Westbrook.
Make this guy beat you with these step-back threes. When they conceded, all right, we don't want to get beat that way. Let's get him in the paint. I feel like that just made it easier for them, and it cut down their variance of losing a lot. Maybe I'm missing something to their strategy, but I thought that they kind of played themselves on that.
I don't think there was a whole lot of strategy.
Yeah, I think, Quinn Snyder did a bunch of cocaine and was just like, let's play behind him while he was grinding his teeth.
At the very least,
Quinn Snyder really frustrated me, especially in close games when his team. Did you notice how they lost their composure at the end of all the close games?
They lost
insane fouls and stuff like that.
They turned it over or missed shots and then just gave up a foul to send a guy to the free throw line in the last 3 buckets.
Not just a guy, the best free throw shooter.
That was also to me, if I want to go Bill Simmons body language, doctor. I want to go home. Please make this stop.
Yeah.
I'm tired of playing. This is my 4-year-old at the soccer game. He's now playing soccer. About 30 minutes in, I'm done, dude.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? It's a 4-point game with 50 seconds left. I'm just going to foul James Harden for no reason other than I missed a shot and I'm tired of this.
Quinn Snyder looks like he's always about to explode. And a guy like that, and you see him blow up on the sidelines too, that can kind of sneak into your team if... you got young guys who are passing up 15-foot jumpers to do some weird stuff because the offense dictates that they need to swing the ball out, and that wide open 15-footer is a bad shot to take.
How many years away are we from me watching League Pass, and when the League Pass game is over, it throws over to an infomercial, and I get to see Quinn
Frank
Snyder.
Thomas about to cuck somebody's wife.
In that same vein, I want to see Quinn Snyder and Dave Yeager being like, you know what kept me in shape all those days outside of the uppers?
Blow.
It was this thing. And I want to see a workout video. It's just Quinn Snyder, Dave Yeager, the hankersizer.
Quinn Snyder simultaneously looks very fit and supremely unhealthy.
Yeah. He's like, brother, you should eat more.
Yeah, he kind of looks like in Hellraiser, when he first puts on the human skin.
So
I don't know the reference, and I'm glad.
So I'll
Jesus wept.
I'll move to the next one. So I was doing some research this week, and I determined using a Bayesian analytics.
Bayesian?
Bayesian.
Bayesian, yes.
Bayesian.
Aaron Baines, yes.
Yeah. In addition to a recursion model sampling data from the last 3 seasons, and I got a p-value of 0.985, implying significant correlation between 420 and me. Do you guys hear that sound?
Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage.
This is simple.
Peter Dinklage.
We got a game of stoned.
Oh, Chuck, did you get married on 420?
I proposed, but she said no.
You know what would have happened, right, Keith? Finish it up.
No, we would have 50th anniversary.
We got to go back to last week.
420. Yeah, you didn't listen to last week's show?
I don't think I was there.
You weren't.
Okay.
And you don't listen to the show, so.
Sorry.
So here's the quiz. It's simple. There are 20 countries who rank in marijuana usage by population.
Don't think I know the names of 20 countries. This ought to be good.
Yemen. No, I'm kidding.
Strike one.
This is the most used?
Yeah, so 3 strikes, you're out.
Okay.
Keith, you go first, since you brought candy today.
Does America count?
Yes.
Yes, America,
United
surprisingly,
States of America?
isn't in the top 10. We're 11th worldwide.
This is usage or production?
Percentage of population that's used in the past year.
Blame Canada.
Canada, top five. Because you're out there.
Kush.
When you're out there, you're smoking on that legal. All right. Keith, you're next.
Netherlands.
No, negative.
What?
Yeah.
Amsterdam isn't smoking?
Right. And
Small, I guess.
what?
Just not enough peoples.
No, there's no forbidden fruit syndrome.
Oh, so they don't care.
So they don't care. It's like,
love
oh,
it.
you're going to the coffee shop. We're
right.
Dutch. We're
All right.
Snorting heroin off each other's ball bags.
We're going to go to a brothel.
All right, strike for me. Strike for me.
All right. John.
Mexico.
Mexico is not in the top 10.
Whoa.
We're doing 20, right?
Yeah, that's not
20. Top 20.
Okay, so what are we doing? Top 20?
Top 20, sorry.
So it's a strike for John?
Strike for John.
We're good at this. We got two
I'll go
squares
Germany.
going.
No.
I don't know much about German laws. All right, 2 strikes for me.
2 strikes. John.
All right. Let's get big. Russia.
Negative. Now Russia.
I'm officially kidding at this point.
You're out.
I'll go Sweden.
Negative.
Free
Yeah.
healthcare, not free weed.
So the number one, and I did this just so I could tell you the country, the number one country with a rocking
Jamaica?
29.5% of the population, Papua New Guinea.
Oh, Papua New Guinea. Why
That
not?
place must be just a weed island. Because I know most of my friends smoke weed, and we're not even in the top 10. In
So
the
it's by percentage.
I like how you.
Boy, I was blown
I like
up.
how you're ranking. Like most of my friends smoke weed. Why isn't the U.S.
Why
in the
isn't
top 20?
I mean, it is everywhere. And I'm in Denver, and
I know 6 people.
I'm in Denver, and
None of them voted for Trump.
every single corner is a weed store. There's more weed stores than McDonald's. It's insane.
Oh, is
And
it?
In my day, we called them jazz
is it all
cigarettes.
Caribbean island nations?
Oh, no. It's Micronesia, Ghana, Zambia, Canada, top 5, Haiti, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, New Zealand, Australia. Shout out white people.
So this was a percentage-based question, and Canada still got in there. That is amazing. Canada is
I am not going to get over Netherlands
so
not
laid
being in
back.
there.
Switzerland is, France, Jamaica,
Stay neutral.
Czech
dog.
Republic, Spain, and Morocco. Clear, and Guatemala. Clear out the top 20.
Prague is so hip right
Well,
now.
let's move to the awards segment of the
Architecture
program.
Prague.
The International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award, given each week to the worst performance in a box score. Gentlemen, we had an epic showdown this week. Honorable mentions: the extremely trash Danilo Gallinari, the unbelievably trash Paul George. Danilo Gallinari was 2 for 13. Paul George, D'Angelo Russell, both 3 for 16. Al Horford was 4 for 19. Russell Westbrook 5 for 21. Those are just the honorable mentions. Our 3 nominees as they occurred chronologically through the week. Evan Fournier in a loss to the Raptors, 1 for 12, 7 points, 2 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, 3 personal fouls. James Harden, in the aforementioned, he started 0 for 15 in a win against the Jazz. He finished 3 for 20. He had 22 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds, 6 steals, which is very sexy.
Our Slack collectively rooting for that 420 was one of the great moments.
4 turnovers, 5 personal fouls. And you thought, like, James Harden, he has won his award. You thought he threw it down. We're not getting this. But then, lo and behold, a child will lead them all. Donovan Mitchell, second-year wonderkind.
They call him Mellow Yellow.
Second year of Donovan Mitchell, worse than the second year of True Detective.
Slam dunk.
Donovan Mitchell was 4 for 22 for 12 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 5 turnovers, and 4 personal fouls.
Worst season 2 of all time. Friday Night Lights.
That's the one with the murder?
The murder.
Landry.
Landry.
They don't
the
even
murder.
like people. It's not even canon.
No.
They're like, you know what? Season 2 doesn't count.
That's fanfic.
Yeah. Anyway, Donovan Mitchell, I assume, congratulations on winning this week's International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award. Par fadeaway, gentlemen. We've run a little bit long. What are we looking forward in the coming weeks?
I used to hate Charles Barkley. I was a Heat fan, and he destroyed my team before we won anything, and he called us bums and showboats and all that stuff. And I just built in this thing for Charles Barkley, this hatred for him.
They're really sour.
And the red bumpy beans are really sour.
This nerd game has been really going. These two sugar addicts.
I don't know how you live like this.
They've been.
I am gassed to the gills right now.
I have felt very sick since Easter.
I feel bad.
I've been at very, very weird parties where I've seen people do cocaine with less frequency than you've been doing with those. So,
you want some of these?
So I'm going back.
You can have it. I need the rest. I need the rest.
I've come to a conclusion
Give me back that bag.
what Charles Barkley is, because in my head, he was the coolest basketball player ever to me. As far as like his personality, he was just cool. He threw people through windows.
Yes.
He
Fought
didn't
Shaq.
He didn't take nothing from
He's
nobody.
fat.
And now he's this goofy dude on TV getting sprayed with a water gun. And there's only one.
He calls it skeeting.
Right. That's an amazing thing.
He said
too.
skeeting on live.
That he is oblivious to any sort of slang culture. But this is my tying it all in. Speaking of Barry, this is my parallel to Charles Barkley. This transformation is the Henry Winkler transformation. Barkley used to be Fonzie.
Yeah.
He was the man.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's a goofy old dude that everybody laughs at, but he does it so well. You love him and kind of forget how badass he was.
I think
Chuck, I got bad news for you.
Henry Winkler was never a
You
badass.
got like 3 more years of dressing like a child before you'll be embarrassed.
so. Here's the thing: in our Slack chat, everyone was talking about. Everyone was talking about. I can't believe
He does it all while wearing that David Byrne suit from Stop Making Sense.
People
too.
in our Slack chat were saying, "I can't believe Chuck said skeeting in the episode,"
Yeah.
and I thought they're talking about our podcast.
Oh. Skeet.
I was like, "That sounds like Chuck."
Yeah.
but I didn't know it was Charles Barkley.
Every once in a while, I'll go in Slag and see my name come up like in the search, so I know who to thank or put an emoji for.
Or to
And
chuff off to.
it's all mostly Charles Barkley. So if you're in the Slack, stop calling him Chuck. Call him Barkley. Damn it! I get alerts.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
There you go.
I'm sorry.
My parfait away. We talked about it earlier. Mark the Shark being the defensive stalwart. In the last 2 seasons, he's
Bittersweet.
in the last 2 seasons he's faced off against Joel Embiid 4 times.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies were bad in all 4 of these games. The Grizzlies won 2 of these games. In those 4 games, Joel Embiid is 17 for 51 from the field,
Need a bigger boat.
which is 33% shooting, and Mark held him to 14 points per game. So there we are. That's what I'm looking forward to. The second round of the playoffs is going to be amazing.
Bruh.
The Gasol and the Raptors defense against Embiid and the Sixers are going to be so good. We didn't even talk about Bucks Celtics. Who cares?
Right.
We didn't even talk about Nuggets Spurs coming on tonight. The only Western Conference series.
That's
I
what I'm
guess.
looking forward to.
That's what. There you go. Do it, John.
I'm nugsed out. I'm rocking the Mile High life.
I'm Nugs and Sixers all the way. I feel as it's almost as if the Grizzlies themselves were in the playoffs.
I should have done this as my apology. I'm sorry for bombing the Pepsi Center with fast break breakfast stickers.
That was a listener and definitely not you.
And yeah, and whoever left.
We can't control what our listeners do with the free
Nuggets
stickers.
Matt
We
and
give
that
them.
the free
Nuggets hat.
You're right. I did some promotional stuff and they ended up places because I'm very persuasive. But yeah,
Use protection.
whoever put the tampon in the ladies' room stuck up with fast break breakfast stickers. That's great because there needs to be more free tampons out there in the world.
Absolutely.
They should be free. It's a basic human right.
Condoms, tampons.
Boom. Toilet paper.
Just drop them from the sky.
Boom. You get me, bro.
Drop them right on top of Notre Dame.
Put out the fire.
Right.
Anyway,
South Bend is burning. South Bend is burning.
who do you guys have in the Eastern Conference Finals? Are we all still sticking Raptors Bucks?
Yeah, I'm sticking to my. Yeah, okay, good. You didn't make me choose between those two. Good.
Are you sticking? I don't know if I'm sticking to Raptors.
Bucks seem very good.
Bucks seem very good.
It's a
Raptors losing that first game really bugged me.
I've been saying it. There's this like physical dominance I haven't recognized in Giannis that I haven't seen since Shaq.
That's right.
He's just an animal that cannot be stopped.
I do think it is big that the Rockets are getting this break while the Warriors play on.
Oh, I got Rockets over Warriors.
Wow.
I might have to.
I'm Rockets over Warriors.
I might have to.
Not there, but
One of the things
I got Rockets in 7 over the Warriors.
woo! I hope that's what happens. That would be fun.
I think the Rockets think they can do it, and the Warriors look.
I don't think the Warriors are going to win the title.
The Warriors look real shaky.
I also
You guys
am never correct about picking the NBA.
You guys freaking out about my Blazer boys making the WCF? Because that's happening.
It could very well.
It's very
happen.
well.
Anyway, if you want to support our show, you can do that at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. You can get involved with the Slack chat we kept talking about. You can submit your questions to the croissant questionnaire. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. Follow Chuck, the mighty Chuck.
That's me.
John, Master
Do not
John
follow
Burr.
me on Twitter.
Don't follow
John just posts wrestling gifs.
That's right.
If that sounds cool to you, you can follow us on
that sounds
Fast
cool
Break
to
Break.
you, well, welcome to hell.
Yep. Also, we're on Instagram and on Facebook. All right, you guys are
I
the
did
best.
not break a chair. I did not break a chair. These
for
aren't
listening.
the droids you're looking for.
And remember,
I did not break a chair.
breakfast is the most important thing.
What if that chair had killed me, Keith? What if that chair had impaled me like Rutger Hauer in Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Would that have been funny?
Well, I wouldn't have admitted I'd known it was broken.